I'm not sure if there's an equivalent to this in the female world, but a man's ability or inability to get and maintain erection is far more than just not getting it up. There's a whole nother side part that I want to get to on this, and it's the fear and knowledge that your partner somehow thinks it's their fault. Hi, my name is Rick Higgins, and today we're going to talk about sexual dysfunction and more specifically erectile dysfunction. And the reason this is a difficult subject for me is because I have ED, and that's the first time I have ever admitted it to anybody outside of an intimate partner. The reason? I don't know. I don't know why it's so embarrassing, but today we're going to talk about it. Now, all men will experience some sort of sexual dysfunction at one point or another. Maybe it's because of alcohol, maybe it's because of stress, maybe it's just because your body just decided it didn't want to. But what I want to talk about is something a little more difficult, and that's when you want to, but you can't. Your body just purely stops and lets you down. Which also leads to a more difficult problem, because once you can't, then on top of the physical aspects, your mind is playing games with you and saying you can't. So the harder and harder you try, the less and less you succeed. Okay, from a male point of view, I want to describe for you the scene. So a man and a woman, or a man and a man, are in a bed, and the guy can't get it up. He just can't get an erection. He is mortified. He's horrified. He's about to have that conversation that starts with, "This never happens to me." But it does, and it did. And it's the demasculinity that goes along with it is just, there's no word for it. I keep saying horrifying, mortifying, but that's not even coming close. But there is something that is worse. That is, at some point, your partner is going to ask, is it me? Is it my fault? And I got to tell you, that part is far, far worse than the simple act of not getting it up. I have this analogy. I don't know if that's the right word, but let's say, I don't know, your partner is colorblind, can't see red from green, and you hold out a beautiful red rose. He can't see the red rose. Do you blame yourself because you didn't pick out a rose that was red enough or beautiful enough? You don't. The guy is colorblind. He can't see red. Well, when you have ED, you can't get it up, or if you can, you can't maintain it up. It has nothing to do with desire. It has nothing to do with anything other than a strictly physical response. Yes, there are times when maybe it is you, maybe it is him, maybe it's the alcohol, maybe it's the fight you had last week. But when you have ED, 99% of the time, it's just being colorblind. Now, here's the sad part. I don't know how it started. Most people don't. Doctors don't really seem to try to find out anymore. Mine started in my 30s. All of a sudden I was fine one day and the next it didn't work. And I had no idea why. And it stayed not working. Now this was back in the days before they had anything. They tried me on everything from antidepressants. Wellbutrin was supposed to promote your sexual desire or whatever it was. It didn't work. All the over-counter medications, nothing worked. One day I discovered Viagra. And now this was a new pill, and it was the heralds were singing, and I was able to function. And so that's both a good thing and a bad thing, because now we do have medication. I live in a time where I can actually have sex if I want to, but they've also means they've stopped trying to figure out why. Big Pharma's got something that can fix you. Why should we try to figure out why you got the problem to begin with? Here, take a pill. Okay, there are some problems with taking the pill for men. In fact, there are 3 problems. One is money, one is timing, and one is side effects. I'm gonna get the side effects out of the way really quickly. Some of them do have some pretty bad side effects. Cialis, for instance, will give you a lower back pain like you've never felt. You eventually get used to it. Motrin takes care of it. Timing. Viagra works, you pop one, maybe a couple hours later, you can have sex. It only lasts for a few hours. Cialis, on the other hand, you got to take it much earlier. There's like a 5-hour lead time. And I do let me try that in English, I do Cialis. It takes a little longer to kick in, but once it does, it can last for 36 hours. The money part is difficult. For the longest time, the medication was covered by insurance. For instance, I used to have, I'm not going to name them because they screwed me over. They used to cover my prescription. They would only cover, how much was it? I think I was allowed to have 5 pills a month. So according to the insurance company, I was allowed to have sex 5 times a month. Thank you very much. One day I went in and all of a sudden it wasn't covered anymore. And it was $50 a pill. Every time that I wanted to have sex with my wife, I had to pay $50 because insurance company wasn't making enough money that week, I suppose. Anyway, there are ways around it. I am not getting into that in this video. I will say one thing, that our United States Congress cares more about how much money goes into Big Pharma's pocket than they care about, the people they serve. But there are ways around this, safe, effective ways. They just may not be as legal. Okay, I want to finish off this story, and this is actually very embarrassing for me. I can't wait to meet all my friends who are going to go, hey, you can't get it up. Then again, maybe some of my male friends are going to go, oh, I didn't know that. Because that's the other problem, is men don't talk about this. We might go talk to our doctor. We might just to try to tough it out. You don't have to. There are ways of getting better. There are ways of having sex. I take one every single day, just like a vitamin pill. And I'm pretty much back to the way I was. If I want to have sex spontaneously anytime, I can do it now because I'm taking my one-a-days. And now I want to speak directly to the partners out there. No, it is not your fault. I don't care how drop-dead, sexy, gorgeous, and technique proficient you are. You cannot overcome a man's color blindness. It is something physical. We may not know why it's happening. We may not know how it's happening. I can tell you that once it does happen, it is permanent and you can't fix it. Yeah, I know it hurts. It makes you feel like you're not attractive enough or you're not desirable enough. But believe me, what goes on inside of a man's head, he wants you. He really does want you. But we've got this, we can't. And now we're worried about your feelings because we think we've hurt you somehow, and it's just a giant pile in your head. Like I say, I'm glad I live in a time where I can do something about this, and I don't know how I don't know how much relief or what this video is going to do once it does get out, but I hope that maybe I can get some dialogue going. Maybe I can help some people. Men, you can be fixed. You can. Go try. Just ask. Throw down a pill. So there you go. Bedroom fails. Yeah, sometimes it's the fault of the bourbon. Sometimes it's other things' fault. But when it's a permanent fault, it's not your fault. So there you go. More words of wisdom from an aging man whose body is letting him down a little bit, but we do with it what we can. So until next time, be a pirate, go wander, be safe, be healthy, and I wish you luck.